In 1989, a small company in California decided that tap water wasn't enough for the global elite. They packaged glacial melt in a frosted glass bottle, and a movement was born. It was the birth of luxury hydration, a completely unnecessary, overpriced, and status-driven industry meant for one thing: signaling that your wealth is limitless. What began as a niche experiment in premium packaging has since evolved into one of the most psychologically fascinating corners of the luxury market, a world where the water itself is almost entirely irrelevant, and the bottle, the branding, the origin story, and the social signal it produces is everything. We're talking about bottles that cost more than cars, more than jewelry, more than most people earn in a year. Vessels containing a substance that falls freely from the sky. And yet the market for them is not just alive, it is growing. Because at a certain altitude of wealth, the question was never, why would you pay $100,000 for water? The question was always, what does $100,000 water say about me in a room full of people who notice? These are the 5 most expensive bottles of water in the world, and the psychology behind each one is more interesting than the price. At number 5 is Bling H2O, specifically the Frosted Collection. And the story behind it is one of the most honest accidental confessions in the history of luxury branding. The premium version costs up to $2,600 for a 750 milliliter bottle. And the water itself is sourced from the same Tennessee spring that supplies Cracker Barrel, where you can buy the exact same water for $2.49. That detail is not a criticism. It is the entire point. Bling H2O was created by Hollywood writer and producer Kevin G. Boyd, who noticed that in the world he was moving through, the bottle on your table communicated your status in the room before you opened your mouth. He covered it with over 10,000 Swarovski crystals, sealed it with a champagne cork, and distributed it exclusively to A-list celebrity events, where it was understood, immediately and universally, that nobody was buying hydration. They were buying a prop for a performance of wealth. Jamie Foxx held one, Ray Lewis was photographed with one, and somewhere in Tennessee, a spring that had been quietly providing water to family restaurants continued doing exactly what it had always done, while $2,600 versions of its output glittered on velvet rope tables across Los Angeles. But while crystal-covered bottles may impress Hollywood celebrities, the next entry abandoned celebrity culture entirely and aimed for something much older: royalty. At number 4 is Filico Jewelry Water, sourced from protected natural springs in Kobe, Japan, a city whose name already means precision, craft, and refinement. Comes in bottles designed to resemble chess pieces from a royal court. Kings and queens with Swarovski crystal crowns, gold-painted capes, and a visual language borrowed directly from the iconography of European monarchy. Priced between $1,300 and $3,000 per bottle, and sold primarily as ultra-luxury gifts among wealthy Asian elites, Filico occupies a specific cultural register that Bling H2O doesn't reach: the language of old-world aristocracy, reimagined as contemporary collectible. Most people keep water in the refrigerator. Wealthy Japanese collectors apparently keep it in display cabinets. The distinction is important. One more thing that is important for the Wolfpack to understand: the real value isn't just in the water, it's in the brand storytelling that makes you believe it's worth the price. We serve this type of luxury content every week, and we are on a mission to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of June, as this will help us to bring more of these contents your way. If you are enjoying the video and you want to stay ahead of the game, please hit that subscribe button and help us. Let's get back into it. At number 3 is Nevis Water, and this entry is built on a single, very deliberate act of brand deception that is also, somehow, entirely honest about what it is doing. Nevis is sourced from ancient artesian springs in Germany, water that is filtered through geological formations over thousands of years to produce a carbonation profile and mineral structure that its makers claim mimics, with unusual precision, the texture and bubble character of vintage Dom Perignon champagne. It is then packaged in matte black champagne magnums, the identical format, the identical weight, the identical visual silhouette as a luxury sparkling wine, and deployed on VIP tables at elite events and private dining rooms, where its appearance alone generates the social response of a champagne arrival. Custom Magnum versions sell for up to $5,000. The psychology here is fascinating and slightly devious. Nevis is not pretending to be champagne. It is simply occupying the space that champagne normally fills. The visual cue, the table ritual, the social performance of the bottle service moment, and replacing the alcohol with ancient German spring water. For certain clients, at certain tables, in certain rooms, this is not a downgrade, it is an upgrade. And at this point, you are no longer buying hydration. You are buying a conversation starter in a matte black bottle that most people in the room will misidentify completely. But while carbonated elegance satisfied the premium nightlife market, the next entry removed the performance entirely and replaced it with something immovable: gold. At number 2 is the Acqua di Cristallo Tributo a Modigliani, and this is the entry on this list where the word bottle becomes semantically inadequate. The Acqua di Cristallo costs $60,000 per bottle and holds the official Guinness World Record as the most expensive bottled water ever sold. The water inside is sourced from natural springs in France and Fiji, combined with glacier water from Iceland, and infused with 5 grams of 24-karat gold. Not as a flavoring, but as a mineral supplement, because at $60,000 a bottle, the gold inside is almost an afterthought compared to the gold outside. The vessel itself is a handcrafted 24-karat gold sculpture designed by Fernando Altamirano, the same designer who holds Guinness records for the world's most expensive tequila and cognac bottles, and is modeled as a direct tribute to Tet, a sculpture by the late Italian artist Amedeo Modigliani that sold for $52.8 million at Christie's in Paris in 2010. Altamirano was subsequently awarded an honoris causa doctorate from the Modigliani Foundation in Rome for the tribute. 9 bottles were produced. The auction in Mexico City raised the equivalent of $80,000 for the Planet Foundation, and the buyers, whoever they were, received not just the most expensive water ever certified by the Guinness Book of Records, but a permanent gold sculpture that appreciates in value as art, as gold commodity, and as artifact simultaneously. The water, eventually, will be drunk or evaporate. The bottle will remain, which suggests again that nobody buying at this level was ever really buying water at all. And at number 1 is the Beverly Hills 90H2O Luxury Collection Diamond Edition. And this is the moment in the video where we must stop, breathe, and sit with what we are about to say. The water inside is sourced from pristine springs in Northern California. The cap is crafted from solid white gold and set with 250 black diamonds and 600 white diamonds, hand-placed by a jeweler. The purchase includes a private water sommelier experience, a person whose professional expertise is the presentation and service of water, and a lifetime supply of Beverly Hills standard bottled water, delivered to the buyer's address for the rest of their natural life. The total value? $100,000 for water. And here's the thing that makes this entry genuinely interesting, rather than simply absurd. Nobody buying the Beverly Hills 90H2O Diamond Edition is confused about what they are purchasing. They know the water is water. They know Northern California springs produce the same water that fills municipal reservoirs. They know that the $100,000 is not a hydration expense. It is a declaration, a permanent, diamond-encrusted, white gold-capped declaration that the person who purchased it has arrived at a level of wealth where the ordinary relationship between price and utility has simply ceased to apply. The luxury water industry, from the $2.49 Tennessee spring water in a $2,600 crystal bottle to the $100,000 diamond cap on a glass of Northern California spring water, is not really about water. It never was. It is about the ancient human compulsion to take the most common substance on Earth and surround it with the rarest materials imaginable. So now the question comes to you. Would you ever spend thousands, or even $100,000, on a single bottle of water? Or do you think this is where luxury finally goes too far? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, we've got another unbelievable luxury story waiting for you right here on Wall Street Wolfie. Don't forget to give this video a like, Share your thoughts in the comments, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell. Because on this channel, we explore the world's most expensive, exclusive, and outrageous symbols of wealth. I'll see you in the next one.